Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you some recent vinyl finds that I think sound so incredible. They actually surprised me, and I know that sounds really funny because of course we expect our vinyl records to sound great, but these records just take it up a notch. And I didn't pay a lot of money for these records, and yet I am so impressed with the sound quality that I want to share these records with you. And that way, if you're out and about and you see these particular pressings or these records, pick them up if you can find them for the right price, because these records blew me away. And at the end, I'm going to be sharing an incredible record, an interesting story that happened over the Christmas holidays. This is a Grail that was in my top 10 Grail list. It's a very expensive record and it's got a pretty interesting mystery behind it. So if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, hit the notification bell and the like button. It really does help my channel to grow. So thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get started with the video. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday, a Merry Christmas. If you are one of those people though, and my heart goes out to you, there's been a lot of people who've went through some very hard times this past year. If for some reason this Christmas was a little hard on your heart, my heart goes out to you. I know here in Kentucky, with the tornadoes that happened just a couple of weeks ago, there's a happiness and a joy that comes with Christmas, but sometimes there's also a heaviness in the heart. And if you are one of those people, my heart goes out to you. So let's look on the bright side. Christmas is now over. Let's look forward to another good year. Hopefully next year will be better than what this year has been. And let's talk about some exciting stuff. Records. So let me show you the first record that really surprised me, that sounds really good. It was super cheap. I paid $2.50 for it. The Simon and Garfunkel's Parsley, Sage, Rosemary and Thyme. What made this particular record so interesting for me is, I have been vinyl collecting for a long time. I dig through lots of records, but this is the first time I have found a mono version of this record. I always find the stereo version. And no, it's not as valuable as the mono version of the album Bookends by Simon and Garfunkel, but this is the first time I've ever seen this one, and it was in clean enough condition that I picked it up and bought it, and oh my goodness, does it sound great. Now, I will say the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab version of this record is incredible too. So if you see that one and you have an opportunity to buy that one, by all means buy it. These Simon and Garfunkel records are notorious for being in pretty rough shape, but a mono copy, $2.50. I think that sounds so beautiful. It's a great record and I highly recommend it. And if you find the mono copy of it, grab it. It's a really cool record to have. Here is another one that I think sounds incredible. And I found this in a city called Owensboro, Kentucky. And I found it at a store called the Money Tree Book and Music Exchange. And I was so impressed with the staff. They're so nice there. And they sell a lot of different things. They have vintage games, like my daughter brought in her old vintage games to trade in for cash at one point. They have a lot of different things, but they have some vinyl in their store. And last time I went in there, they were on fire with what they had. They had Radiohead's original records. They had Bobby Gentry's The Delta Suite, which is a really hard record to find. They had the Small Faces with the immediate pink label. I was really impressed with them. And I left with this incredible record, Alice Coltrane's Lord of Lords. It's on the Impulse label. And, she was married to John Coltrane. I have a hard time describing what this record is. I say it's kind of like a classical meets jazz meets gothic kind of record. It's got a little bit of a gloomy feel to it. But this record will absolutely fill the air with incredible sound. This is a great sounding record. And I was really happy to find Alice Coltrane. I don't see her records very often. And a lot of people here in the vinyl community really rave. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this one a shot. And I bought it, and it really fills the room with incredible sound from this Impulse label. So I really love that one. And again, if you ever have a chance to go to Owensboro, Kentucky, check out the Money Tree Book and Music Exchange, because they have really had some really great records lately. If it wasn't for me shopping for Christmas for other people right now, I would have bought several other records from them. And here is another one. And this was a gift given to me by Paul. He has a vinyl channel called BarakaPDub. I would say he probably has the most professional looking videos as far as vinyl records goes, but he's also so down to earth, and he's so kind. He sent a couple records my way, and they sound fantastic. So this one is Late Night Tales Presents Music for Pleasure. And you know what? I'm not a big fan of the phrase yacht rock. For some reason, that's something new for me. Great 70s top 40 music is just that to me. I don't really classify it as yacht rock, but whatever, it's fine. I admit I like yacht rock. If that's what it is, I'm on board. But this is a really great track listing of 70s music, and I have never heard these songs sound better than what is on this record. It came out in 2012, and it is a half-speed remastered for Optimum audiophile reproduction. And it's so good. Ambrosia, if you're a fan of Ambrosia, You're the Only Woman is killer on this record. Robert Palmer's Every Kind of People, Michael McDonald's I Keep Forgetting, that was a really big song. Bobby Caldwell, What You Won't Do for Love. I spent a good part of a year looking for the album by Player that had the song Baby Come Back on it. I can tell you I have the original, and now I have the version of Baby Come Back from this one, and this blows it away. It's so good. Fly Like an Eagle by Steve Miller Band. The Guitar Man by Bread. That's a great song. It sounds so fantastic on here. Boz Scaggs Lowdown. I have the CBS Masterworks version of that album, and it's so incredible on here. The song is so great. 10cc's I'm Not in Love is on here as well, and that is just such an atmospheric song, and you wouldn't be disappointed. This is a great listen. I love and have great memories of those 70s top 40 hits. So thank you so much, Paul, for sending these records my way. He also sent this one, and I can't say enough. Sonny Clark, what a great album, My Conception. This is a tone poet, and you all know all about the tone poet records, but I would say for the quality of a pressing and the quality of an album cover, for the money, you just can't beat these tone poets. I have been collecting almost all of the Blue Note Classic series and almost all of the Acoustic Sound series, but I have been kind of picking and choosing my tone poets. So I am so happy to have this one in the vinyl collection now. Really great, beautiful sound. I highly recommend you getting Sonny Clark's My Conception. And thank you, Paul, from the video channel BarakaPDub. I will leave a link below so that you can check him out, although you all probably know him very well because he puts out such quality videos. And now I want to show you a record that was gifted to me by Michael from Nebraska. He's been so generous to me, and this is an incredible sounding record. This is the debut album by Asia. Really great record, and Jeff from Jeff's Various Vinyl has sung its praises very recently in a video, and I agree. But this is the Japanese pressing of it, and this one really touched my heart because for some reason on this Asian or Japanese pressing, John Wetton's voice, it just really sounds so incredible. The US pressing's good too, so if you have that one, you're good to go, but this Japanese pressing and the way John's lyrics and vocal sound, it's so good. And it is missing its obi, but it came with this beautiful lyric sheet. You can tell it's a Japanese version just by looking at this insert. So I love Asia, and if you're an 80s fan, that debut album by Asia, I just don't know that it gets any better than that. I know some people aren't as big on Asia, they were kind of disappointed with them, but I really love that. And that was Japanese pressing is so incredible and sounds so great. Here is another one that has knocked my socks off lately, Lush Life by John Coltrane. A killer sounding record. This was the Analog Productions version. It sounds so good. And I had it on back order since last March. So I was guaranteed to get this record. But I want to give a very cool shout out to Rob from The Waxed. He has a great channel. I've been really loving him. He shows records that he finds in thrift stores that blow my mind. I'm so jealous of him. But he gave me a quick little message letting me know that this one is in stock. So thank you so much. I always appreciate getting a heads up when something very cool has come back in stock. I always appreciate when a friend gives me a notification. So he did. And I will leave a link below to his channel as well because it's very well worth watching. This is a great, beautiful record by John Coltrane. And you know what? Craft Recordings had a very cool version of that. They only sold 1,000 copies of it, and I missed that one. But you know what? This Analog Productions version, I don't feel so bad for missing out on Craft Recordings. This is really great. So now I'm going to be turning the tide here a little bit different. This is a record that I recently picked up, Kiss Off the Soundboard, Tokyo from 2001. This is one that if you like live albums, you would like this one. It's very good. I'm not big on live albums unless they sound really great, and I will be the first to admit bootlegs scare me to death because you just never know what the sound quality is going to be. This is what they call an official bootleg, and it was taken from the soundboard. You know, I'm not saying this one sounds as good as the Lush Life by John Coltrane or some of the other records I'm showing, but for a live concert, this is a great sounding one. It's 3 LPs, and I don't know if you're like me, but this is my rationale, and I'm not defending it at all. But sometimes I will spend $100 on a record and not blink, not think twice about it. And then there's others like this one that was $60 for 3 LPs. I think that's a very reasonable price for 3 LPs, and yet I'm like, I don't want to spend $60 on this record. You know, it's just a priority thing. And I think we all have that. We have, you know, areas where we will spend more and areas where we won't. But I was able to catch this as a Christmas special where it was 40% off. So for that price, yes, I was on board. And for a live concert, this one really does sound good. Like I said, I'm not saying it's the best sounding album you'll ever hear, but to get a Kiss concert, I highly recommend this one. If you are a Kiss collector and you have all these bootlegs, this is a safe bet for you, and I really love it. This next record is one that I bought for my husband, and I don't buy vinyl records for my husband. He has told me before, do not buy vinyl for me. But we went into a store in Bloomington, Indiana, and he specifically asked the store employee, do you have any Diana Krall? And so I kind of took a mental note of that. I thought, you know what? I have a hard time finding Christmas presents for him. I'm going to buy him a Diana Krall record because he went to the trouble of asking a store owner if they had her. So I bought this record. You know, at first I thought, he just likes the cover. Because come on, look at her. You know, who wouldn't like that if you're a guy? But we listened to this one last night, and I didn't know what to expect. I'd never heard Diana Krall before. I knew she was a jazz singer. Oh my goodness, does this sound record blow me away. It sounds so great. And it's not an expensive record at all. You could order it on Amazon or find it at your local record store at a very good price. But the sound quality on this one is off the charts. I was shocked. And I don't really know a lot about the information about this one. I know in the Dead Wax, it said that it was bakery fakery. That was kind of the person who mastered this record or some of the information on it. But wow, it is so good. I highly recommend if you just want to hear a beautiful jazz vocalist with killer sound quality for vinyl. This record is incredible. Again, another one. This one has been around for a very long time. I bought this one. It's more of my husband's taste in music, but it's starting to go out of print and it's becoming harder to find. So I thought, you know what? I better get it before it's gone. Norah Jones, Come Away With Me. This is the Analog Productions version. Sounds so beautiful. And it's just really good, relaxing music. It will fill the room with great sound. So I'm not surprised. Anytime I buy something from Analog Productions or the Acoustic Sound series, I expect, just near perfection. And this one delivers. It's really, really good. This is a record that I just found yesterday. I was out just after Christmas shopping. We went to a store called Half Price Books and Records in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And my daughter informed me that this isn't your typical Half Price bookstore. This is an outlet. So these are things that did not sell at the Half Price Books and Records normal stores. This is the lowest of the low. And every record in here starts at about $1. Most records sell for $1 there. I came across this. It was still sealed. And I saw High Q Supercuts. And I didn't really know what I was looking at, but I know I've heard people talk about these records in vinyl videos. So it caught my interest. The album cover itself would not catch anybody's interest, but I quickly did a little search on Discogs. This is a 2014 reissue. When I found it was still sealed, and it says Supercuts, High Q Records, cut at Abbey Road Studio from the original analog tape, Superior Audiophile pressing, $2. Okay, so I thought, you know what, for $2, why not give this a shot? I wanted to know what the Supercuts records were all about. I do enjoy classical music from time to time, and I thought this would be a wonderful one to have for $2. And I made a joke to the person at the cash register. I said, this better be very good because every other record here in this store is $1 and you're charging me double for this one. And they just kind of laughed with me and they said, no, actually today everything in this store is half price. So you're only going to pay $1 for it. So I paid $1 for this beautiful classical record and it blew my socks off. It sounds incredible. It's not an expensive record. I looked into paying $1 for it, but you can pay under $25, under $15 for it very easily if you shop for it. And if you like classical music, this is absolutely gorgeous. So for $1, I got every penny of my money's worth and then some. So, I love classic rock first and foremost. Jazz is incredible. And classical every once in a while is really cool to listen to as well. And that was a wonderful find. Now I'm going to share a story with you of a record that I received that sounds incredible. And it's just a mystery. About a week ago, I received a box from an address that I typically give out when someone wants to send me something. So this person, for some reason, had my address, and I don't know who it was. But it was on my Grail list. I recently made a video of 10 records I would love to see under my Christmas tree. When I got the box, it literally just said as the return address, Santa Claus in the North Pole. And this is what it was, you guys. This is Revolver by the Beatles, the original master recording. Somebody sent this to me. I have searched and looked twice and 3 times over for a note, and it did not come with a note. I don't know who sent this to me. This is a very expensive record. And I know a lot of people give the Mobile Fidelity Beatles records a hard time, but I will tell you, this Revolver record sounds incredible. It is a great sounding record. And I have the mono version, a Capitol original, but this one is a great sounding one. There are background noises and music that I've never heard before that's present on this. If you want to remain anonymous, I want to say thank you so much. This is an incredible record, and I have all of the original master recordings by the Beatles from the Help album moving forward all the way to Abbey Road. This completed that. Now, if I ever run into the earlier stuff for the fair price, I would probably pick it up. But, you know, I love this later Beatles genre. I think it's really great. And to receive this from someone who doesn't want to be known, thank you so much. I don't really know what else to say. I would love to know who you were so I can properly thank you. And if you would come forward, there was something else that was sent in with this, just let me know what the other thing was and I will know it's you. I want to give a proper thank you. But if you want to remain anonymous, just know how much this record means to me. And this is a beautiful record, and the vinyl was pristine. It looked like it had never been played before. It's been played now. I have really enjoyed it. Great stuff. And just thank you so much. So that was a huge, wonderful surprise for me. So these are records that I highly recommend if you see out and about. They're not expensive, but they will fill your room with incredible sound, beautiful music, and you will enjoy them. Let me know if you have any records that you think fall into this category so I can be on the lookout too. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.